Here's Grace, Chief Executive of Ealing GP Federation. I'm just really interested in perhaps particularly Chris's view on picking up on this gentleman's point earlier on about actually how we educate GPs and involve GPs in this whole process. Clearly, obviously there's the clinical aspects of the training which are really important, but there's that broader education piece, and some of them are going to be line managing. So there's that whole education agenda to get GPs as mentors, and we've got some very strong educationists within our patch, and they're quite passionate about education, but I want to make sure that they see it as part of a wider program.
You're absolutely right. So I think there's multiple strands. There'll be these 250 trainees. We will be impressing on them that they will need to take control of this and equip them with a range of tools to be able to go back into their practices. Remember, their practices will have employed them, or some will have employed them, to go back and do that. There's also very shortly meetings between ourselves, HE, and the GP deanery top people. Forgive me, I don't know the exact name for that, but the top dean of the top deans, to tell them about this, to then filter that straight down through the GP deaneries. And as soon as that happens, then we'll be linking up the local people with those GP deaneries to get that as well, so we can start to make awareness of what's happening for the pharmacist trainees and also what might be happening for the GP trainees, the next generation. So we took advice and we've gone at the top to filter that down instead of trying to do that locally, so we'll do that as well. One of the things we've been doing is talking to range partners. Any advice you've got, any in terms of views, in terms of how we impress that role on people, what people want, those stories, we need to equip the champion in the practice, be it the practice manager, be it the receptionist, be it the pharmacist, be it the GP, to do that. There's also an awful lot of hidden local leaders, and one of the parts of the clinical supervision bit, the funding, is to go and find them and get them out. Because a lot of them had to go native because of the pressure and hide. There's actually a bit of funding to get them come out and lead some of those local sharing learning sessions. So I'll pick on Graham again, but people like Graham to go out and spread that from his Ealing base, going that way. Well, you don't need to talk to him then. But there were other people, you know, Helen Hume. Is Helen in the room? I don't think it's. Who else? Magnus Hurd. Get those people to be part of the leaders we know in pharmacy who can go out and impress people as well. So imagine we would kind of put that together as a triangle. I do recognise that with organisations like PCPA and the RPS, we've got an awful lot of leadership to do for everybody around the profession, not just kind of helping these 250 people.
Yeah, and the PCPA is establishing, through its interest group, we'll have establishing a sort of local support networks as well of working pharmacists to help support each other and practices that are employing pharmacists. Anything you want to add, Rich?
Well, I was just going to talk about one of the other points on the 10-point plan, actually. Point 3 is around training hubs. They're known as community education networks in some parts of the country. The idea is a hub-and-spoke approach where GP practices work together much more collaboratively around development and training for all primary care staff. We're going to fund, and there are already 4 sort of models. We're going to fund further development of those, so there'll be one in each Let Be area of the country. And one of their aims really is to share knowledge about the skill set of other clinicians, including social workers. I know that the one in Yorkshire and Humber has social workers in there as well. And we know that having medics and other clinical staff together really changes the dialogue and the conversation around patients and around how the practice operates. And that's one of the things that training hubs are about. It's not a quick fix. You know, training hubs, you know, will take a little bit of time to get off the ground. They're not going to be here by January. But hopefully that will start that education process for both trainees and existing clinical staff who are on a development journey, which all of them have to do CPD. So it's our solution. It's not the only solution, but